finally made it to number 20. Hi, how are you all? I hope you're all doing really well. This is going to be a little bit of a February update, I guess. So my last video was my whip parade, which I think I filmed towards the end of March. No, this is March, towards the end of January. So I'm just going to do a bit of an update of what I've stitched on since then. So I guess it's kind of like my February update. So today is the 2nd of March, I think. How is it March already? I have no idea where this year is going. My job particularly is a April to March kind of job. So yeah, this month, March, is always very stressful, and I suddenly had a little bit of a panic this last week that we're suddenly in March, and there's a lot to do this month, but it's fine, we'll get it done. Okay, so I think I have a little bit of stitching to show you. I've got a fully finish, a start and a finish, a few whips, and a couple of new starts, as always. So yeah, we'll just get going, I suppose. I've kind of moved my angle very, very slightly. I don't even know if you can tell. Got a new coffee table. I was very excited about it. I thought, I'm going to use you on my coffee table rather than setting up some weird balancing act over here that I normally have. So yeah, and I've just realised, like, there's a little bit of smoke here. Don't panic, it's just an incense stick before anyone thinks there's a little miniature fire going on behind me. Anyway, stitching. Right, first fully finished object. So this is a finish that I showed from the very end of last year, and it is a little dinosaur, which is a pattern I got from MyBobbin, and it's by a designer called Alisa Okneas. So I showed this finished at the end of last year, and I just chucked it in a frame. So I just wanted to show you the finished result. So there he is, my little dinosaur. I think he's so adorable. So he is stitched on 18 count fabric from Claire Brown X Stitch, which I know she's no longer in business, but I believe someone else has taken over her business. I feel like I always say this and I don't actually have the new details. I should try and find that for you. But yeah, just finished him in a really simple black frame with this sort of white trim. And I got a frame that's quite a bit bigger than the picture just because I thought it'd be a waste to show off the lovely fabric. So there he is, my little fully finished. I feel like I've got a bit of a croak in my throat this morning. Sorry about that. Anyway, right, next, I don't have to show you, but this is a start and a finish since my last video. So this pattern is called Tortoise Tower, and it's by Plum Street Samplers. Basically, it was my sister-in-law's birthday last month. It was quite a big birthday, and I saw this pattern, and it's one of them when I was just like, that is India in a pattern. So I stitched it for her, basically. I thought, make a lovely little gift for her birthday. I should put a picture in, shouldn't I? So you can see what I'm talking about. Here it is, my little finish. I'll try and keep this on screen for a while so you can see. So yeah, so basically, I won't go into all the details, but for her and her family, this pattern was perfect. There are so many, like, for such a small little pattern, there are so many personal things that fit her and her family. It was just perfect, I had to do it. So this I stitched on a 32 count natural Lucan from Zweigart, just with the called for threads, which I believe are just all DMC. Now actually, when I pulled these threads out, I was a bit disappointed because the colour on the like mock-up stitch thing looked really like bright and vibrant, and when I pulled the colours, they all looked really dull, and I was like, oh, like these aren't the same. But I thought, I'm in a rush to get this done, so I'm just going to trust the process, it will be fine. The duller colours still looks lovely, it just wasn't quite as bright as what the picture showed. Anyway, as you can see, when it's stitched up, it's lovely and bright, it's beautiful. So yeah, all done, call for DMC, finished in just a lovely little black frame, and yeah, she was made up with that. So yeah, all done. So that was my, is that my first finish of the year? No. I finished something else, I'm sure. Anyway, finish, done. all done and dusted. That's gone to its recipient. Okay, they are my finishes for this month. So let's go into whips. So my first whip I'm going to show you, whip is works in progress for anyone that is new around here. Modern folk embroidery, fruits of plenty. I'll pop a picture in of what it'll look like when it's done. Everyone's seen this a million times. This one I started when did I start when the stitch along started? I think I did, which I have a feeling is back in 2021 now. So we're going back a little bit. This I showed you in my whip parade, and it was a project that I was focusing on for this year. So in January, myself and Jo from Belushi Stitches, we tend to do what we call Salathon. So we're basically getting out any of our sals. So sal is a stitch along. Any of our sals that we have abandoned, not got very far on, want to get a bit more work on. Yeah, anything that was started as a stitch along, let's get going with it. So I wanted Fruits of Plenty to be my sort of, one of my projects for Salathon this year. So I'll show you where I was up to in my whip parade. So as you can see, I was already doing pretty well with it. So I'd got, since the start of the year, I think I'd done another 2 parts. And my aim for the whole of 2024 was to get 3 parts done. And I've done it already. So here is where I am now. Is it in? There we go. So that is where I'm up to so far. So since you last saw it, I focused down here in November's section, which is just down here. So yeah, this one's stitched on 32 count natural Lucan from Zweigart. I'm using the colours that Jacob suggested in his mock-up design, which is DMC 932 and 3750. So yeah, I think last time I just had this bit started here. So yeah, that bit's finished, and I have made a slight alteration. I don't know why, but I have a weird thing about putting like initials and years on patterns. I don't know why. I should really get over that because it's quite nice, isn't it? Anyway, on the original design, it was meant to say 2024. So like 20 up here, not 2024, whatever the year was that it was done in, 2021. So it had like 20 up here and then the year down here. So like 21 or 24 or whatever year you were gonna stitch it in. I didn't like it. So I've changed it. So at the top, I just added these little hearts instead of the numbers. And then same at the bottom. I've just put a couple of little hearts instead of the numbers. I think it looks all right. Quite happy with that. So yeah, that is where I got to on this one. And I'm aware I've done it in a bit of a weird way. But basically, I'd stitched this section, which is August. I stitched August because I wanted to decide what to put in here, and then I panicked that I didn't have enough fabric, so I wanted to make sure I could get down to the bottom, and I do, just about. We're okay. So yeah, that's that one. So I've put this away for now. I don't know if I'll come back to it again this year. I feel like I might do though, because I was really enjoying it, and obviously there's only 4 more parts left to do now. So it's really coming along quite nicely, that one. I'm quite pleased with that. But as I say, my goal for this year was to do 3 parts on that one, which is all done. So really, really pleased to have actually managed to stick to a goal that I set myself. Doesn't happen very often, but yeah, done. Right, let's chuck that one over here. My next project that I've been working on is Disney Villains by Happy Sloth Designs. And this is what it'll look like when it's done. So this is just 12 of the Disney villains without the faces, but I love this. I already stitched the princesses version, which I finished last year, maybe, and this is the villains one. So I'll pop a picture in of where you saw it last time. So this is my stitch that I stitch on in the car while I'm waiting for picking my daughter up from school, basically. It's just a nice, easy fill-in pattern, basically. And this is where I am now. This is coming along quite nicely as well. So, yeah, I think last time I'd got maybe half of this one done. So since then, we're just on this top middle one. So all that's left to do on her is fill in her face, and then I'm going to move here next, which is here. So yeah, this is coming along nicely. I can give you some stats on this one actually. So this, it's stitched on 16 count white Ada, just with the call for DMC. Last time you saw it, I was at 31.48%, which was 6,128 stitches. Now we are at 39.84%, which is 7,757 stitches. So about, what, 1,600 stitches done since you last saw it? Not too bad, considering it just sits in the car and just gets a little bit done here and there. So yeah, quite happy with the progress on that one. Another one, next one, is another whip that I'm, again, really happy with. I feel like I've made really good progress on stuff this month, which I'm really quite happy about. So this one, my next one I wanted to pull out was Damsals and Dragons, which is a start from Bothy Threads, Wrendale Designs. Isn't it lovely? Basically, my daughter's name is Iris. These are lovely irises. I started this, I feel like it was on her birthday a few years ago. Didn't get anywhere at all. In fact, I'll show you where I was last time you saw this one. And then I suddenly had a bit of a epiphany, is that a right word? And I thought, oh, it's her birthday at the end of March. Wouldn't it be nice if I could get it done by then? So I pulled it out, started stitching. Move that one out the way. I wasn't sure how doable this was, but I figured the Bothy Threads ones I did last year actually didn't take me that long to do in the end, maybe like 3 to 4 weeks each, maybe, I think. So I thought it was worth a try, and if I didn't get it done, it didn't really matter, but we'll see. And I'm already here. So I don't think that's too bad. Yeah, so as I say, you literally had about half a strand of threads worth of stitches in this flower, I think, last time. So I've worked my way right across to this side. That is the edge. By the way, I'm so pleased with my Nerge placement on this project. I just kind of whacked it on and hoped for the best. Thought I'd try and see how much I could get in without needing to move it, because if there's one thing we all hate as stitchers, it's moving the hoops or the frames or whatever. And like, I was so close and I managed to get it in. And again, at the bottom, I've managed to get it all in. Well pleased with that. Not sure if we'll have quite as much the other way, but we'll see. So yeah, we're getting on really quite well with this. So my little frog's all done, which I think he is absolutely adorable. And when he has a bit of back stitch on, he'll be even better. So yeah, I'll just put this so you can see where we are. So I'll tell you what, let me do that. Right, okay, so literally just 2 more flowers. So this one and this one still to do, and the little dragonfly at the top, bit of back stitch, and it'll be all done. So I think this actually could be doable. Whether it'll be fully finished and in a frame or whatever for her birthday, I don't know, but at least the stitching will be done. Not that she'll appreciate it. She'll love it, but she's only going to be 6, so she's not going to be like amazed. But anyway, it'll be done and it'll look lovely in her room, I think. So yeah, Damsals and Dragons. So this is just, I got this as a kit. It comes with 14 count Ada, is this speckly Ada, but this has got like a nice little blue speckle, which I think the others have mainly got like a black one or a grey one, which I quite like. Yeah, call for kit threads. Really lovely colours. Makes a nice change from all the blue that I'd been stitching on for the Modern Folk Embroidery one. So yeah, pleased with that one. Okay, they are all the whips that I've worked on. So yeah, as I said, really pleased because I feel like I've made really good progress on some old whips this year. So that's really good. New starts. So first new start is Home of a Needleworker by Little House Needleworks. This is what it'll look like when it's done. So this one, I'm doing this a stitch along with Jo from Belushi Stitches. And this one we are stitching in, we're going to split it into 3 parts, and we're stitching this from February, March to April. So month 1 we decided was going to be the actual house itself. Month 2, I'm pretty sure, is the text. And is there anything else? No, I think just the text. And then part 3 is like the border and everything else. I think I'll have to check up on that. Anyway, I've done part 1. So this is where I got to in part 1. So this is stitched on 32 count natural lucan. I feel like everything I seem to stitch is on this. I am coming to the end of my massive supply that I had on this, but it's just a perfect fabric. I just think it looks really nice. So yeah, the house is done. Loved stitching on this. So this is using the called for threads, which are Classic Colourworks. I must say, I was a little bit disappointed in the colours. Not in the actual how it's done, because I think the colours are lovely, but mine just weren't very variegated at all. Like, I just can't see any variegation at all. But anyway, it's still lovely. I still really like it, and there's quite a lot of stitching in this house, but I'm really glad that it's done. And I'm really looking forward to moving on to the text and stuff this month. So yeah, that's part 1 of this one done. Please feel free to join us on this one. As I say, we're doing it as a stitch along. Obviously we're a month in, but it wouldn't be too hard to pick it up and join us. It's quite a small pattern. It's not massive. It's only, where are we? 127 by 100. So it's not masses of stitching. But yeah, please do join us. I don't know if we have a hashtag. Do we have a hashtag? Don't know. Stitch it anyway. Right, my final new start to show you is, it was a proper, on a whim, let's just start something for the sake of it, basically. So I don't know if you've heard, you probably have. If you're a long-standing member of this community, I'm sure you will definitely heard of the long dog leap year, leap day stitch along thing. Don't even know what it's actually called. The long dog leapy stitch thing. So obviously this year was a leap year with an extra 29th of February thrown in there just to confuse things. And there is a lot of stitches that tend to start a long dog on the 29th of February with the aim to have it finished by the next leap year. So you have 4 years to finish a long dog. Now, I've seen people talk about this before. I know Crafty Emily had done it last year she's finished, I think it's Pilgrim by Long Dog Samplers, and her finish is beautiful, absolutely stunning colours. And I've really enjoyed seeing her progress over the last few years of that one coming together. Yes, loads of other people have done it, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I wasn't going to start anything. I had absolutely no plans to start a long dog, but I just kept seeing people posting about it, and I just thought, I want to get in on this bandwagon, so why not? So this is a pattern I've had in my stash for quite a while. It is Soucis. Soucis? Let's go with that. Here's a picture of what it'll look like when it's done. Yeah, so I just randomly decided on the morning of the 29th of February on my way to work, I'm going to start that later. So I rummaged through my fabric stash. I am a member of the Chromatic Alchemy Fabric of the Month Club, so I had a good old rummage through my stash of that. Did a bit of I had like a floor covered in different fabrics with different threads on, trying to work out what I wanted. And the combination I've come up with is, well, shall I just show you? That'd be easy, wouldn't it? Here is my little start. So this is 259 stitches, 1.07% of Soucis by Long Dog Samplers. So I'll pull it in just so you can see where I'm up to, and then I'll pull it back. Yeah, so I've gone with, this is the colour Dulcet from Chromatic Alchemy. It's 18 count, and I'm using DMC 820 as the colour. I'm just trying, I think that's not too bad show of the fabric colour. Although the like pale bit is a lot more like light bluey toned, like aqua-y toned, which I don't know if that's showing up very well. But anyway, you can see it's pretty beautiful. So yeah, this I've got 4 years to finish basically. So in my head, I'm thinking 4 years, 25% per year, already on 1%. So if I can do 25% each year, would be on for a finish. Whether that actually happens, I don't know. But the idea is there. So yeah, there you go. That's my start on that one. Really, really enjoyed stitching on this so far. Yeah, it's definitely one of the smaller long dogs. I think I want to say it's about 160 by 260 stitches, which I think it's about 25,000 stitches total. So compared to the likes of Pandemic or Saga, this is much more manageable. Now I do have Pandemic already started, which I did wonder whether to pick back up, but I just thought, nah, that's too big of a goal for me. This seems a little bit more manageable. So yeah, we'll see where we get to on this one. So yeah, really enjoyed my start on that one. So yeah, as I say, I just did one evening on that just to get it going. Yeah, we'll see how we get to it. Okay, a quick trip into plans. So that's all my stitching that I've done, which I don't think is too bad since my last whip parade, which was what, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago? Somewhere around there. That seems quite good to me. I'm happy with that. So my plans for going forward, I am going to finish my Wrendale this month, I hope. As I say, I'd really like to finish it for Iris's birthday at the end of the month. So yeah, and that seems a pretty reasonable goal. The rate I've got through it so far, I think that can be done. So that is plan number 1. Plan number 2 is Needleworker. Obviously the next part of the Home of a Needleworker stitch is this month, as I said, which I think is the text. So I want to get that done this month, keep on track with that. Again, that seems pretty doable. It's not, just let me have another look. It's not masses of stitching. So yeah, I'm hoping. I'm going to have to check with Jo what we actually agreed. But yeah, that should definitely be doable this month. Other plans, I'm going to continue with the villains, obviously. Just keep plodding along on that in the car. My other plan, I say it's this month. I don't think it actually starts till April. But Lola Crow. Everyone will know of Lola Crow by now. She is a big name in the old cross stitch business at the minute. She has done some absolutely stunning stitch alongs to date, which I do have sort of plans-ish to go back and do because I absolutely love them. So she has done the Haunted Library stitch along. I'll try and put some pictures in of what they look like. I love it. I really, really love it. And I keep umming and ahhing over doing it, and I think I'm going to have to do it. Not this year. Park that for now, but it will be done at some point. Same for the Greenhouse of Oddities stitch along that she did. Now, I always really liked this one every time I saw it, but then at the last cross stitch retreat that I went to in Crewe, the Ladybird retreat, Georgie from Crafty Road Gamer had she just finished it? Or she'd almost finished it? I think she'd just finished it, and in person it was stunning, like absolutely beautiful. And from seeing her finish, I knew I had to stitch it. So I will be stitching that one at some point soon, thinking maybe next year. Anyway, this year's plan, she's just announced a new stitch along for this year, which I believe is called the Deadly Aquarium stitch along. That's all I know so far, Deadly Aquarium, but going off her past stitch alongs, I was sold. So I will be starting this when it's released. So I have a feeling that the pre-sale is maybe next week, and then I think it starts stitching in April. Not sure when I'll next film. I'm going to aim for the start of April, but we'll see. I do have the next crew retreat mid-April, so I might wait till after then. I don't know, we'll wait and see. But what I have done is rummaged through my fabric selection and pulled out some fabric which I think will be good for this stitch along. So she released a little snippet of information, basically so people could start kitting up what they wanted to stitch it on. So the full floss list hasn't yet been released, but she did list a couple of the threads that she thought were the strongest colours to make sure that they stood out against your fabric. And she also released a couple of fabric suggestions and also like the DMC shade that those fabrics were closest, so that you could kind of match up what you had in your stash. Anyway, that's all we know so far. So I have pulled this fabric out from my stash that I think I'm going to use, which is a Chromatic Alchemy piece called Anfera. Can you read that? That's what we're going for. It's a 32 count linen. Shall I take it out so you can see it properly? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Sorry for a little bit of rustling. Hang on, where's the... There we go. Oh, this has gone wrong. Broke the bag, never mind. So this is what I'm going for. Oh, I can't get hold of it. There we go. I feel like that's really washing out. It's really, is that a bit better? I think that's a little bit better. It's quite bright, like a bright aqua kind of colour. So yeah, this is what we're going for, what did I call it? Deadly Aquarium. So that's what I'm going to go for that. That's a little bit better, like a bit more aqua-y, quite bright coloured. But the colours that she listed, this they show up really well on this. And this is quite similar to one of the DMC that she suggested. So yeah, that's what we're going for that one. So that is a plan. Other than that, don't know really. Let's see what takes my fancy. Yeah, I'd like to carry on working on some older whips. Just getting some really good progress on stuff really. I don't have any more immediate new start plans, but as we know from the random long dog Sal plan start thing, who knows? Could just pull anything out, couldn't we? Last thing I wanted to talk about was Flosstubers. So I feel like over the last year, I was kind of like dipping into who I already knew, wasn't really getting stuck into any new Flosstubers. And I knew the world was growing and the community was growing, and I was like, I couldn't keep up with it all. So I've made a conscious effort this year to really get back into it, catch back up on everyone that I'm subscribed to, and really start looking around for new subscribers. And the start of the year is always a perfect time to do that because it's whip parade season, everyone's throwing out whip parades, and also I feel like it's a time of year that people that don't already have a Flosstube decide that they want to start one, which is brilliant. I love it. So I've got 6 people I wanted to mention to you. 2 are, well, one of them is definitely a proper established Flosstuber. She's new to me, and she is called the Talking Dog Stitcher, Rachael. Now she has, I think she's probably got about 20 videos now, and when I looked this morning, she was literally on like 1.99 thousand subscribers. So if you watch this and don't already follow Rachael, go and subscribe to her just to give her that little nudge over the 2,000 mark. That'd be really lovely. So she's wonderful. She's got lots and lots and lots of projects. She is very clear that she is all about the process, not that bothered about the finishes at the end. She is a proper process stitcher, and it is lovely to see her progress on all her projects. So go and check out Rachael. She is just great. Really, really enjoyed. I just binge watched all her videos and she was brilliant. The next person I wanted to mention was Lyndsey at Wolfie Stitches. Now she is a fairly new Flosstuber. She has about 3 videos so far, but she's just great. I really, really, really loved watching her videos, and the pairing up of projects and fabrics of hers is just great. Really, really enjoyed watching hers. Really good for some inspiration as well for, as I say, like matching up projects with fabrics that you wouldn't think that would go, but they really do. Yeah, so Lyndsey is brilliant. Then I wanted to mention 4 brand new Flosstubers who I've found this last month, and most of them are people that I already followed on Instagram, and I was so pleased when I saw that they'd started making Flosstube channels. First one I want to mention, Cross Stitch Mad Sarah. She is brilliant. So I met Sarah at the Floss Friends retreat in Retford back in November. She is a hoot. She is so funny, absolutely hilarious. She had me in stitches all weekend at that retreat. and we were all saying she really needed to make a Flosstube channel, and she finally has, and it is just as you would expect it would be. Her personality just shines through it. She's great. So definitely go and check out Sarah, Cross Stitch Mad Sarah. Just to confuse matters, I'm now going to talk about Cross Stitch Sarah. Just drop the mad. I feel like I followed Sarah on Instagram for a while, and she has now put out a Flosstube video as well. So her first video is out and it is great. She's done a really, really good job. Again, she has some wonderful projects, so definitely go and check out Cross Stitch Sarah. I will link all these channels down below so you can go and find them nice and easily and subscribe to them all. Next one I wanted to mention is Amy at Sew, Make and Create. Again, someone else that I followed on Instagram. She has now started a channel. She has some really lovely projects, and I have a feeling that she is joining us for Mermania, I want to say, this year. So just to mention it again, in case you are new around here, myself and Jo from Belushi Stitches do Mermania. Well, I think we're going to we started it last year, but I think it's going to be a rolling thing for every May where we stitch on mermaid projects. So yeah, I think Amy's going to join us for that one. But she's got some lovely, lovely projects on the go. Really worth checking her out. And then the final one I want to mention is Laura from Butterfly Stitches. Laura already has a cross stitch business. She makes the most beautiful needle minders, floss thread organizer things. Yeah, loads of little beautiful clay stitchy accessories. Really talented. Honestly, I've got loads of her needle minders and floss things. What do you call them? Organizers? The things with all the holes in that you put all your thread in. Yeah, anyway, her business is lovely, so go and check out her business if you've never heard of that. That's called Cotton and Clay. Pretty sure she's on Etsy, but go and find her on Instagram and buy from her because they're really lovely. But yeah, now she has a Flosstube channel as well, which is lovely. She just seems like the loveliest person. She's got some really lovely projects on the go. So yeah, go and check out Laura at Butterfly Stitches as well. I think that's it. Nice little, just over half an hour, not too bad. Yeah, please comment down below, chat to me about whatever. I am going to get better at comments, I promise. Yeah, thank you very much for coming back if you are a returning viewer. Thank you for appearing and watching if you have just found me. And yeah, I will see you soon-ish. I'm sticking so far so good on my posting every month-ish. So I'm hoping this can carry on. I'm doing well so far. Fingers crossed. Anyway, see you soon. Happy stitching. Enjoy March. Let's hope that spring is actually on its way because as far as I'm aware, there is currently snow around the country. Not where I am. It's just very cold. But yeah, snow in March. I'm sure this time a couple of years ago, I was paddling in the sea here. That's mental. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. I will see you all very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.